Hello everyone. In this video tutorial I'm going to discuss about the oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So these are the carbohydrates, okay? The carbohydrates that contain more than two simple sugars are known as oligosaccharides or polysaccharides. So what's the difference between oligosaccharides and polysaccharides? Oligosaccharides may have 3 to 10 monosaccharide units only, okay? So oligosaccharides mainly contain 3, 4, 5 to 10 monosaccharide units, but polysaccharides may have more than 3000 units. So you can see the difference. So oligosaccharides have 3 to 10 monosaccharide units, while polysaccharides may have more than 3000 units, structural units. And these large structures are responsible for storage of glucose and other sugars in plants and animals. So main purpose of the formation of this polysaccharides or oligosaccharides is to store the energy giving molecules, energy giving monosaccharide, that is glucose. Okay, so these are stored in the form of polysaccharide in plants as well as in animals. Now the raffinose and stachyose, these two are the important oligosaccharides, and both of them are made up of these units: galactose, glucose and fructose. That is, raffinose will contain galactose, glucose and fructose. So these three units are composing raffinose, while stachyose will have 2 molecule of galactose, 1 molecule of glucose and 1 fructose. Okay, so these stachyose will have the 4 units. So the stachyose will have the 4 monosaccharides, that is 2 units of galactose, 1 glucose and 1 fructose, and these are important, okay, because it has the nutritional value. Because of their unique bonds, these two cannot be broken down into their simpler sugars. For that, bacteria plays an important role in small intestine, okay? So it will metabolize these raffinose and stachyose in large intestine so that it can be further absorbed in the small intestine, okay? So it may form unwanted gaseous byproducts also. In order to prevent this, BNO is a commercial enzyme that can be consumed before eating these things like beans, legumes, pulses, etc., so that it can be absorbed easily in the small intestine. So raffinose is a trisaccharide composed of galactose, glucose and fructose, and are present in beans, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, asparagus and other vegetables, whole grains, etc. Here you can see the structure of oligosaccharides, that is raffinose. So here it is linked by the 6th position of glucose, and it is one carbon of the galactose. So it is forming the 1,6 glycosidic bond, and here it is forming 1,2 glycosidic bond. So this is the first carbon of glucose and this is the second carbon of fructose. So these are forming bond in this way and forming a raffinose, that is an oligosaccharide. So raffinose and stachyose are non-digestible short-chain carbohydrate or oligosaccharides. Humans do not have enzyme to digest them, so they pass unchanged to the colon, where normal intestinal bacteria ferment them to gases, okay, and this may cause abdominal bloating. Stachyose is a tetrasaccharide. Why? Because it contains 2 alpha D galactose unit, 1 alpha D glucose unit and 1 beta D fructose unit, and these are linked by this kind of sequence, that is alpha 1,6 galactose will be bonded with another galactose unit by alpha 1,6 bond. Then galactose is also forming the bond with glucose by alpha 1,6 bond, and further glucose is forming bond with fructose via alpha 1,2 beta fructose. So together with the related oligosaccharides such as raffinose, stachyose occurs naturally in numerous vegetables like green beans, soya beans and other beans and other plants also. Here you can see that this is the picture depicting the few difference in the disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, that is oligosaccharides. Okay, so here you can see this is the glucose unit and this is the fructose. So fructose plus glucose is forming disaccharide, that is sucrose, right? And if these sucrose is getting attached with another molecule of galactose, then raffinose is formed. If another galactose is being added to it, then raffinose is forming. Now the polysaccharides. So complex carbohydrate, and these are the complex carbohydrate because it contains thousands and thousands of repeating units of monosaccharides. So mainly the homopolysaccharides will contain the repeating glucose unit, and these are the storage form of large quantities of glucose. Example of homopolysaccharides are starch, glycogen and cellulose. So starch is the major storage form of carbohydrates in plants. Okay, so plants is synthesizing the glucose unit from the carbon dioxide water molecule in the presence of sunlight. So in leaves, glucose is synthesized and it is polymerized to form the starch molecules which is stored in the plant. So starch may have two different types of structure. So it can be made up of amylose and amylopectin. So amylose is a straight chain polymer while amylopectin is highly branched. Amylopectin is used in different kind of thick sauces and gravies. So this is acting as thickening agent while forming the sauce or gravies. Sources of starch include potatoes, beans, bread, pasta, rice and other bread products. So glycogen is another highly branched polymer of glucose that is the main storage form of carbohydrates in animals. Now starch is mainly found in the plants. Okay, it is composed of alpha glucose subunit and the orientation of its glucose subunit are same, which give the polymer a helical shape. So it's too important. It exists as amylose or amylopectin. So amylose contain 1,4 linkages, so it is unbranched. Amylopectin has 1,4 linkage as well as 1,6 linkage. So 1,4 linkage will form the linear chain, and where the 1,6 linkage is present, it will form the branched chain. So this is the proper structure of amylose or amylopectin. So starch is made up of either amylose or amylopectin. So this is the structure of amylose. So these are the glucose molecules, alpha D glucose, and these are attached by 1,4 linkage. Here you can see this is the alpha 1,4 linkage, and another at the branching point it is forming, this is the 6th carbon and this is the 1st carbon. So it is forming 1,6 linkage, alpha 1,6 linkage. So there is only one difference between the two. The amylose is straight chain, glucose molecules are attached or bonded together by alpha 1,4 linkages, while amylopectin has one extra linkages. Wherever branching is there, it is linked by alpha 1,6 linkages. So it has two types of bond. So alpha 1,4 linkage is forming the straight chain, alpha 1,6 linkage is forming the branches. So there is one difference between the glycogen, that is the storage of glucose molecule in the animal, and the starch, that is the starch is the storage compound of plants. So it is the storage compound of glucose in plants. There is one difference. In glycogen, the amylopectin are highly branched, but in starch, amylopectin is not that much branched. It has less alpha 1,6 linkages. Glycogen, an energy storage polysaccharide formed in the liver of animals, and it is similar in structure to amylopectin. It is composed of alpha glucose unit. It is linked together by 1,4 linkages and 1,6 linkages. So I have already told you, making it branched at alpha 1,6 linkages. Glycogen has more alpha 1,6 linkages than amylopectin that is present in the starch. So the molecules of starch and glycogen are both too large to be soluble in water, and thus both act as the source of energy storage in cells where large store of glucose needed to be stored. Indigestible form of polysaccharides are known as dietary fiber and come in many different forms, including cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, gum, and mucilase. So these are non-digestible. It forms the dietary fiber. So we may take it as fiber in our diet so that it will help in smooth digestion. Okay, it aids in smooth digestion. It won't participate in digestion, or it won't provide any nutrition to our body because it is indigestible. Okay, but we take it as fiber so that it will help in the smooth passage of stool. So cellulose is by far the most abundant biochemical compound on earth because it forms the part of structure of many plants. So cellulose, what is cellulose? Cellulose is a polysaccharide. It forms the cell wall of the plants. So cellulose form intramolecular hydrogen bonds between adjacent glucose units as well as beta 1,4 glycosidic bonds in other carbohydrate. So cellulose is also forming the intramolecular hydrogen bond, as well as with the adjacent glucose unit it is forming beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. So here is the structure, a structural polysaccharide found in the cell wall of plants. It is an unbranched polymer of beta glucose subunit. So you should remember this one. It is the polymer of beta glucose subunit, and it is bound by 1,4 linkages. So beta 1,4 linkage can be seen between two glucose unit of cellulose. Its orientation of glucose subunit is alternate, that is up and down like. So which makes the polymer straight. Its arrangement makes cellulose strong. So due to this arrangement, this kind of arrangement, it is very strong. That is why it provides strength to the plant cell and ultimately the plant. Now the heteropolysaccharides. So heteropolysaccharides contain two or more different monosaccharide units. Okay, so in homopolysaccharides it was forming the polysaccharide, its unit were glucose unit mainly. It was having glucose as monomer, but here it can be seen that heteropolysaccharide is made up of different monosaccharide units, and its example is heparin, hyaluronic acid. So first, heparin. It is made up of alternating units of uronic acid, glucuronic acid, and glucosamine. So uronic acid, glucuronic acid, and glucosamine. These three units acts as the repeating unit, and they are arranged in alternate way. So heparin is made up of alternating units of uronic acid, glucuronic acid, and glucosamine. It is an anticoagulant. Anticoagulant means it will prevent the blood from blood clotting. Okay, so when we get wound in our hand, what is happening? Blood is coming out from it. So after a while, what happens? Blood oozing stops. Blood won't come from the that side, wounded side. It stops. So what is stopping it from coming out from your body? That is clotting of the blood. And clotting of the blood is an important phenomenon, but in certain cases like heart attack, so internally inside the body there should not be blood clotting. There should be continuous flow of blood inside our blood vessels, and it should be circulating repeatedly inside our body. It should not coagulate, it should not form the clots. Otherwise what will happen? There will be the risk of heart attack. Okay, that is why heparin is used before surgery to reduce the risk of blood clots, and also it is used in the treatment of heart attack. So when we get cut, external cut, at that time we need the coagulation of blood, and it is aided by many other agents. So it is another phenomenon, but inside our body there should not be the formation of blood clots, and to prevent this heparin is very useful. Now the hyaluronic acid, it is a linear heteropolysaccharide with the structure of glucuronic acid and N-acetyl glucosamine as repeating unit. So it is present throughout the body in various tissues and fluids like connective tissues, epithelial tissues and neural tissues. It is sticky, gummy and slippery, and its function is very important because it keeps our skin healthy, moist and hydrated. And that is why if some person is suffering from dermatitis, that is the skin disease, then hyaluronic acid is used for the treatment of that disease. It also reduces fine lines and wrinkles. It can speed up wound healing. Okay, so wound healing is getting easily healed by the hyaluronic acid. It preserves bone strength because it is the lubricating agent. That is why it will lubricate them and keep the movement smooth. It also prevents dry eye and discomfort. So many people have the problem of drying of eye. When we blink our eye are always, it is should be moist. Okay, so that movement of our eyelid should be continuous and without any friction. So to prevent that, hyaluronic acid is essential. But in few person, if there is lack of hyaluronic acid, then their eye will be dry and they will feel discomfort. So to treat that also, hyaluronic acid is given externally to them. And it also used to treat the joint pain by keeping bones well lubricated. So this is hyaluronic acid is very important heteropolysaccharides. I hope you might have understood. Thank you.